By now, we are aware of what exactly the concept of atomic number and atomic masses. Atomic number is simply the number of protons present inside the nucleus of an atom, whereas an atomic mass is the number of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus. So when we have to represent the both these entities for elements, how do we write it? Is there a specific way for representing it? Yes, the chemical symbol of the element is written with the atomic number, bottom on the left side, that is in subscript. On the other hand, the atomic mass is written in the top left side in superscript, something like this. The symbol of the element, its atomic number and its atomic mass. Now, how do we represent simple element like carbon? That's right, something like this. The atomic symbol, that is C, followed by atomic number 6 and atomic mass 12 at the respective places. Now, if another element, say chlorine, something like this maybe. Yes, one type of chlorine atom can be represented like this. Why did I say one type of chlorine atom? Are there more types of chlorine atoms? Yes, some chlorine atoms have 20 neutrons instead of 18 neutrons in the nucleus. Then how to be represent this type? Yes, just like this representation. However, we now need to understand what exactly that is. There are many such cases. Atoms of the same elements exist in different forms. These forms are called isotopes. Yes, in simple words, isotopes are defined as the atoms of the same element having the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Yes, same number of protons but different number of neutrons, just as we saw in the chlorine. All the atoms having 17 protons, but few of them have 18 neutrons, while some other have 20. So these are the isotopic form of the chlorine. Similarly, several elements have an isotopic forms. For instance, we have carbon with 3 isotopes. As we can see here, each isotopes has 6 protons but different number of neutrons. One has 6, the other has 7 and the last one with 8 neutrons. We name these isotopes as carbon 12, carbon 13 and carbon 14 respectively. Now this was about the different forms of the same element. But what if I tell you that atoms of two different elements can have the same atomic mass? Yes. Let's understand this with an example. We take 5 different elements: sulfur, potassium, calcium, chlorine and argon. Now, if you notice, each case the number of protons and neutrons is different. It's 16 and 24 here, 19 and 21 here and so on. That's right. However, the total number of nucleons in each sums up to 40. What do you mean by nucleon? Nucleon is a proton or a neutron. Yes, each thing present in the nucleus is a nucleon. So the total number of nucleons present in an atom is the sum of protons and neutrons. We can also say that the total number of nucleons in an atom is its atomic mass. Yes, understand this well. The total number of nucleons, which is nothing but the sum of protons and neutrons, is the same as the atomic mass of the atom. So coming back to our example, there are 5 different atoms here. Although the number of protons and the number of neutrons is different in each case, the total number of nucleons in each case is the same, which means the atomic masses are the same. How? Yes, it's simple math. One of the sulfur isotopes that we have taken as an example has 16 protons and 24 neutrons. So the atomic mass of these isotopes has to be 40 units. That's 16 plus 24. Next is the potassium isotopes having 19 protons and 21 neutrons. So again, we got the same atomic mass as 40 units. And similarly, we got atomic mass as 40 units in each of the remaining cases. Such atoms are either isotopes, different elements having the same atomic mass, called isobars. The term arises from Greek, iso meaning same and baros meaning weight. Remember, if we consider 2 isobars, the number of protons and the number of neutrons in each case will be different, but the total number of nucleons or the atomic masses will be the same. So far, we understood the subatomic particles and few important concepts that related to atoms. Now, let's move ahead and learn the important concept of valency in the next video. Thanks for watching the video.